Hey, middle-aged gamers, welcome back. Happy New Year for 2024. We are back with the news. Lots of stories. There were so many stories in December we wanted to cover, but we want to bring you something special. And I think given the perception or reception of our long-form videos and shorts in December, they did really well. So I think we'll continue to do that in 2024. Thank you so much for the support last year. I finally had a chance to look into how we did last year. 166,000 long-form views, a lot of short form views that I didn't even bother to look at. I should say I looked at it, but I didn't write it down. Lots of views on Instagram, lots of views on Facebook, so we appreciate it. This year's goal is going to be 500,000 views across the board, if we can do it. And of course, finally, my personal goal is to get Adam to be a full-time YouTuber and be the face of this channel in perpetuity. But beyond that, lots of things happening this week. We've got games stories, we've got the Steam Awards, we've got Square Enix and AI. I'm going to talk about AI as well. We've got another speculation story that I love. But let's get started right away. That's enough of me talking. Adam, tell us about Square Enix.
So Square Enix is apparently going to be pushing hard on the AI, which has a lot of people feeling odd, considering that they had previously been pushing the NFT thing, and that clearly wasn't working. And so now they're going to be pushing into AI. So the president, I believe it was, let me double check here, basically came out, and for the new year, he released his kind of statement for the new year. And the quote was, "We intend to aggressively be applying AI and other cutting-edge technology for both our content development and our publishing functions. In the short term, our goal will be to enhance our development productivity and achieve greater sophistication in our marketing efforts. In the longer term, we hope to leverage those technologies to create new forms of content for consumers, as we believe that technological innovation represents business opportunities." So it looks like Square is really going to be pushing the AI as a development tool to help them push out products faster and more efficiently, and also on the marketing end to streamline the marketing. I'm sure they've been doing this for a while. This isn't something that's brand new, but their focus on it is a newer thing.
I'm honestly not surprised because I'm working for a tech company and it's the same sound all over, not just my company, but the whole tech industry is just AI development everywhere. So we'll see what it gives, but I'm really not surprised they are going that direction. It's really like where everyone is going and they just don't want to be left behind.
Yeah, and then the end of last year, a very big payments firm in India was like, yeah, we're letting all of you guys go because we're replacing you with AI agents, which is literally their press release, right? And to me, Square Enix makes sense with the NFTs, with the AI, because Asian firms tend to do this stuff first because, again, people don't really care about NFT stuff here. It's just money. There's a very famous chicken restaurant in Taipei where you can buy NFTs and you get chicken for that. And to people here, it's just very normal in Asian culture. And the same with the AI. If it helps you do your work faster, better, even if it doesn't look like it's made by a person, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's about efficiency, it's about speed. I was telling Adam, like, I made a YouTube short, bot generated something for work, a script, and I'm like, oh damn, this script is pretty good. It took Bard like what, 30 seconds. It took me about another 4 minutes to edit it a little bit to make it better. It took, within the program I used to edit this podcast, the script, dragging in stock footage probably took about another 10 minutes or so. Done. I did a short. And traditionally, to make all of that stuff, I would need an Adam to design all these animations and do all of the stuff that would take hours to produce one short, and instead was done in 30 minutes. I think that is the future. And stay tuned. We have another talk about that. I think we'll probably touch on this a little bit later. But Adam, do you think we'll see AI in a Final Fantasy game?
Currently, it's not about AI in the gaming; it's about AI in the development.
In the development, like in the development of Final Fantasy, like in the art or used for a trailer. I feel like I've seen game trailers that have been using AI recently.
I'm sure that there's a lot of, especially when it comes to things like some of the art, especially for, say, textures. I'm sure it's probably way more efficient to get an AI to create a grass texture than it is to go out with a camera and find a field or something and go out and just take pictures of the ground over and over again. So things like that, which I'm sure I'm sure they're going to do stuff like that. And then also too, I think one of the biggest pushes they said was in their marketing. So I think they're going to use AI to do some analytics on how they should be marketing, when they should be marketing, that sort of thing, and seeing what kind of things trend.
All right, moving on to Antoine's story number 2.
Yeah, and sorry, I thought I was muted. My son is making lots of noise next to me.
Oh, because we can't hear it at all.
You couldn't hear? You can't hear him?
No, not at all.
I can. He's playing with his friend online, playing a few games. I installed Steam for him not too long ago. Don't worry, it was a mistake. Anyway, first story, I just wanted to go very quickly, very nicely about the Steam Awards. I got the list here, and honestly, we're going to go very quickly because compared to the award we did last month, there's not many surprise. Game of the Year, of course, Baldur's Gate 3. Outstanding story reach, of course, Baldur's Gate 3. We had Sit Backs and Relax, which got won by Dave the Diver. We talked about it in the indie games. And I was interested. No, I really want to play it because Sit Backs and Relax is really up my alley, and I think yours too. I got something I was a bit on the fence. Like I was saying, it's supposed to be the Steam Awards 2023, and yet best soundtrack, Last of Us Part 1. Okay, I know there was a remake, but it's not because there's a Skyrim limited edition 2024 that I want to sit in the same Steam Award 2024. That's a bit weird. Anyway, one I really, really recommend. The Better with Friend Awards Lethal Company. I saw a few streamers playing it. It's extremely fun. It's a bit horror game, but it's not that crazy, and a really good game to play with friends. Which I think one which makes me laugh like crazy, but I think everybody's gonna spot the intruder in the long list, and everything is pretty much okay, right? Best game on Steam Deck, Hogwarts Legacy. It wasn't really rewarded before, so it's okay to appear because in the end, it's still a good game, right? It's not the Game of the Year, but still a good game. And in the middle of it, you have most. I'm gonna underscore it. Most innovative gameplay of the year, Starfield. I'm just putting it there. Silence for 2 seconds just to put an emphasis on it. Most innovative gameplay. Where? I'm asking where because the shooting is fun, but compared to Cyber, it's not seeing major. Having loading screen everywhere is very innovative, right? But we had this 10 years ago. We keep saying it's a Skyrim in space because it's a Skyrim in space. So it's 2020-11 game in space. It's not innovative. Anyway, I just saw that and I just went later to check because it's not made by professional journalists, the award we did last month. This is really the players who vote. And I saw something, I saw a thread say, yes, Reddit won, we threw the awards. I'm like, that's why. Of course, that's why. There couldn't be a serious vote. I don't know. You see the Redemption 2 as a labor of love. Okay, really, it smells of players because you wouldn't have this at the 2023 award. But Starfield, yeah, the best game to suck. You suck at Sifu. Very fun game as well if you want to try. It's tough, and every time you lose, you age. So at the end, you play with Grandpa if you're really bad like me. But yeah, no, so nothing much to say apart from the fact that, Reddit was able to put their way into the votes and get Starfield an award. So congratulations to Bethesda. That's the only thing I can say on this front. Clearly, I'm sorry for the game, but clearly they don't deserve this award. I'm very sorry for the game who should have won this award. You've been trolled by players. Sorry.
Go ahead, Adam.
I haven't played Starfield, so yeah, but yeah, I have a lot of people saying it's Skyrim in space, and that's one of the things where people were saying when people complain and they say, "Hey, why can't we land on planets? Why can't we have this freedom to explore the way we want to explore?" And a lot of people are saying, "Come on," and the argument is often that's not what this game is. This game is a Bethesda game set in space. You need to play it the same way you play Skyrim. You need to play it. You need that needs to be your expectation. And yeah, if that's the case, and that's what you need to enjoy it, you need to look at it that way. Then no, that's not innovative. That's exactly what we've been getting. At least Morrowind. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it got innovative.
No, it's like a Thor 4 issue. So cinema, it was a horrendous movie. And after, yeah, but you didn't saw it the right way. You have to see it the way that it's a guy who would do a child tales. I said, no, I'm paying $17 to go to cinema and watch a movie. Don't tell me after that I saw it wrong. Maybe I did, but if I saw it wrong, it's because you say it's wrong originally. So if I have to see it in a certain way, put it in the way at the very beginning of the game that I have to have this kind of mentality. Because right now I'm just, no, it's not a good game. No, but you don't understand. If I don't understand, you didn't do your job properly. That's how I feel. But
So what would you have picked for most innovative?
most innovative gameplay. I'm not sure because there was a lot of indie. Innovative is not AAA, right? That would be an indie game like the Viewfinder where you play with the perspective and everything. That's innovative, but that's innovative in terms of art, not in terms of gameplay as well. Indie games are usually much better in terms of gameplay than AAA. AAA, as we said before, they play it safe because they want to appeal to the major audience, right? So if they put something innovative, it's going to be one drop here, one drop there, but nothing major. So I would definitely have put something, an indie game here.
Okay, let's keep going. Since we did start a bit late today. So, Adam, I'm going to skip to my third story, which is our boldest predictions for 2024 from PC Gamer by Jody McGregor, contributed by Ted Litchfield, Wes Fenlon, Christopher Livingston, Tyler Wilde, and Lauren Morton, published 1 day ago. Please check out the full article on PC Gamer and support them. Right? We do need to support our digital gaming publications. I'm going to go through these predictions. I'm going to get the guys' takes on this. I'll give you my quick take as well. The very first prediction, which relates to why I wanted to start this story first, is relates to what the guys are talking about, which is bigger worlds. And the very first prediction is planet-sized planets are the new hotness. And I disagree with this. Like, I don't want bigger gaming worlds. I don't want to be able to go to other planets and land and explore. And it's another thing, but I think definitely gaming is heading this way, unfortunately for me anyway. But I think Antoine and Adam perhaps like this sort of stuff. So let's go with Antoine first. Antoine, what's your take on this? Do you think there's going to be bigger, more expansive gaming worlds in 2024?
We already had that. Or it's like a world or regions auto-generated, because when you say different planets, it's different. It's just a new name for different region, right? Was it Morrowind, which was the size of the US almost because of the size of the map? Skyrim also has the size of the map, which is insanely big. So I don't think it's gonna get bigger. If it get as big, or you don't necessarily need a big world, right? You just need a world which is well populated, balanced. That's a bit of the critics that I had with the latest Zelda, right? Breath of the Wild 2, so Tears of the Kingdom. You retake the same map as before, so it's really big, right? But you have entire region where there's just nothing, basically. You just walk around, and yes, it's for the ambience, the atmosphere. You need to have some wildlife and some nothingness, right? Because if I go outside, and it's Canada here, between Montreal and Ottawa, you have 2 hours of basically not much, right? Forest and sweet cornfields. But I'm playing a video game to escape reality. So I want something interesting quickly. I don't want to wait a long time before something interesting happens. I don't think bigger is better. I just say balanced is better. You want to do something big? As long as it's well balanced, it's fine. If it's procedural, I'm never a big fan of procedural things, but maybe I'm just strong. Look at EVE Online. Can you see something bigger than that? That's the biggest game ever, and there's a big community on it who love it. So you can do some great thing, big. It's the same as the rest. You just have to do it well. That's it.
Adam, what about you?
I'm gonna go the opposite way. I think this is a good thing. I think that this is. I don't think it's good for games like, say, Starfield or a Final Fantasy or a Skyrim or any of those. I don't think it's good for those games because those games are very focused in their story and their scope, and so I think it's a bad idea for that. But I think that this is a good opportunity to open up a new genre of game, the exploration game, or the exploration genre, which I think like games like, say, No Man's Sky, that's part of the thrill, right? Is going out and just expanding and creating bases and exploring new things. And I think that having a planet-sized game could open up a lot for that. The example that they have here in the article is Light No Fire, which is the new game by, was it Hello Games, the No Man's Sky studio. And then the whole point is that you're in this world occupied by dragons, and it's not about a story. It's not about a quest to save the world or anything. It's about exploring this world and going out and finding dragons and taming them. And I think it's good in that it could create or like, for instance, a game like Elite Dangerous that they mention here as well. These games they're not about the story. They're about the exploration. They're about the journey. And I think for that genre, I think that this is actually a great idea. I think this is really cool. You could have a bunch of people exploring the world together, and sailing from continent to continent. And I think, for that style of game, I think this is a good thing. I don't think it's good for every genre, but I do think that there are genres where this could be a very wonderful thing.
Yeah, but I agree completely with you. Subnautica, for instance, it's exactly it. Sandbox games. I'm playing with my son on an early access game. It's Sunken Land, Ark, but underwater or something. You're right, as long as you play with other people and you keep it interesting. Because if it's a solo game, problem is that you lose interest quite quickly. There's not a strong red string to drive you through the game. I would be very interested at first, and then I think I would just lose my interest quite quick after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the Minecraft thing, right? Minecraft, if we probably took every single Minecraft world that's ever been created, I'm sure
Oh
you've
my
probably got
god.
a planet-sized world if you put them all together. And but people still love Minecraft because you can go in and you can do creative things and that sort of thing. And I think that's the appeal of these planet-sized games.
All right. And on that note, there are a bunch of other predictions, but in the interest of speed, we should get going. Move on to Adam's second story.
All right. So for my second story, I'm going to be talking about, where's this? I need to get rid of. There we go. The Finals. So The Finals is a new game that came out. It's a multiplayer game. You go on, you basically go out, kill people, complete objectives, make money, cash it in for your team, and then you win. And apparently, it has come out, and it's following a lot of the people seem to like it. They seem to enjoy what it's doing. But the problem is the battle pass, is because the battle pass, from what people have said, there's something like 90 tiers to it, and it takes roughly an average of 1 hour to complete each tier. And that means that you're going to have to be playing this game nearly 100 hours just to beat the battle pass. And a lot of people say that does not respect your time, especially when you have all these other games like Apex, which also have battle passes out. And so there's a bit of this battle pass fatigue where it's just, I feel like I have to log in every day. I have to play my hour. I have to grind for these objectives just to get to the next level of the thing. And so people want battle passes that are either maybe not so long, or battle passes that you can progress through much more quickly, because they do have a problem with that. That was one of the things when I was playing, what was it, Naraka Blade Point, was it got I started off and I thought I was making a lot of progress on the battle pass, and I'm looking at how long it is, and I'm just like, there's no way I would have to no life this game just to get through this battle pass. So what do you guys think about battle passes and the current state of them?
For me, Battle Pass is Fortnite, so it's not really games I play a lot. I understand the fatigue you would have with it, because it reminds me of 10 years ago, Warcraft, preparing for the raid every week, and you had to spend 5, 6, 7 hours just to prepare for the raid, and every Tuesday and Friday and stuff like this. So I know how terrible it is for you're supposed to play, but it sounds like work. Because it's not like you have a choice. You have to do it. You want to stay at least at the top. If you want to stay in the red, put the work for it. Yeah, but it's a game. I want to enjoy it. If you get the same feeling in the battle pass as you had for these raids before, it doesn't work, because again, games. You have to play to enjoy, not to be forced to. I have to be there. Of course, you can play like this. I'm the first one to do it when I was platinum again. But you know what I'm saying, right? You do it because you want to do it, not because you feel forced to do it. If you feel forced to do it, stop it right away. It's not work. It's just a game.
Yeah, one of the other complaints is that the way Apex does it is you have your daily quests that you need to do, but then you also have weekly quests. But the weekly quests unlock as the season continues. So your week 1 quests unlock the first week, the week 2 quests unlock the second week, the week like that. But when you're in, say, the 5th week, you can still complete the quests for every previous week. And a lot of times those will overlap. So, like, for example, you might have a quest that says complete or do this much damage on any of these 3 characters. And then you might have a different quest that says do X amount of damage on any of these 3 characters. But those 2 quests might have, of the 3 characters each quest have, one of them might overlap, which means that when you're doing the quest for 1 week, you're actually getting progress towards your quest for a different week as well. So if you join later, a lot of those things can actually be completed at the same time. So you can actually, if you haven't been doing stuff from previous weeks, you can speed up your progress later on. But apparently the way that they're doing this with the finals is that after the week is over, those week's quests you're locked out of. So the only way to get the weekly quests in is to constantly be on the game and be doing them that week and then come back the next week. And if you don't keep up with it, there's just no way to keep up.
Yeah, on the battle pass thing, I will say very quickly is like I did Hearthstone battle pass. I still do the Marvel Snap battle pass, which I just bought today because today is a new season. And the Snap battle pass is like every month. You don't have to buy it every month, but I'd buy it every month. It's $10 US. There are 100 levels in the battle pass, and in a given month, I will usually hit like level 64, level 65. But the way they do it is that after level 50, 1 to 50, you get all the like the essential stuff. After 50 is just like the cherry on top. Hearthstone, I finish the battle pass all the time, and I wish there were more levels to it. It's, to me, the finals is a fantastic game. I've watched videos about it. It is, if I was younger and I cared about multiplayer and multiplayer was rewarded my time a bit better, I would definitely be playing it. But again, this goes back to the PC Gamer. Like one of the predictions was like this year, live service games will find a new grift. And for those of you who don't speak English, it's a grift is another way to cheat or con people, or pin in Chinese. So it's, maybe this is it. Maybe it's just crazy battle passes. Like this is going to be the new thing for 2024 that we have to expect. All right, and Anton, story number 2.
All right, story number 2 is something I wanted to talk about because if you recall, last year we talked about Warhammer Space Marine 2 that it was supposed to come late 2023, like in December and something. Because we did this specific December stories, we didn't talk about the news and everything, but I really want to talk about it. During the Game of the Year award, the news was dropped, so it's already all news. It's a month old, so you already know it very likely. But developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 will come out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, of course, on September 9, 2024. So it's much later than I expected. I don't know if it's because it's being delayed or they always knew that it would be like this. But okay, we just have to wait a little bit and it's going to be a fantastic game. And I wanted to tell you about this because they launched the collector edition that you can pre-order right now. Actually, if you go, so I gave you, Adam, since I can't see the screen, I don't know if you got the links that I sent you online, but that's the place to pre-order on any console that you want, on any platform, and your collector edition will include, a very cool figurine of previously Captain and Lieutenant Titus, resin statue fighting some Tyrannid in some lots of gore. So of course, because it's Warhammer, right? So it's really cool. There's even a little helmet you can put on the Captain or on the Lieutenant if you want. You'll get, of course, the game's official steelbook and the art book. Of course, you always have an art book, but this one is 172 pages of the art of and making of Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. 172 pages looks like they actually did a good work on this. It's a $250 collector edition, so it's still pricey for a collector edition, right? So maybe that's also the price of it. Bonus if you take it on console, because it comes with a physical edition of the game. If you take it on PC, you'll get a Steam code. Unfortunately, but that's how it is, right? And if you pre-order it, you're already pre-ordering the first and only, I don't know, but at least the first DLC, which is Macragge Chosen, because Titus being an Ultramarine, Macragge is his homeworld, so homeworld of his legion. So that's how it is. And yeah, that's basically it. That's what you get for $250. The statue looks really cool. I don't know what's an inch because I'm European and I use centimeters, but if you want, it's a 8.25 inch times 6.7. So I have no clue. If you guys know, if you can show me how big it is, I really don't have a feeling for this imperial measurement.
You said 8 inches?
Compared to your, is it as big as your clad statue behind you?
Give or take, actually.
So fair enough. See. But go on the website just to see it because the art is really cool. And I really like the little helmet because often the issue on these statues is that the eyes are unfocused. It looks a bit bad. Here they actually put the helmet of the Ultramarine on top just in case you think that the eyes are not so good and covers them.
So 8 inches is 20 centimeters, just over.
Not bad. It's a pricey piece of plastic, right? But That's why we buy collector edition. The collector box looked cool. Nothing special, right? Just cool. Not like the case of Fallout or stuff like this, but
yeah. When I saw the delay with the link on torrent, I was like, oh my God, 9 months because it was supposed to come out last year. So this makes me think I will not play it in 2024 because when you have that significant of delay, something is seriously wrong with your game. Or they had, I unfortunately think so. I know they let some influencers play it in September last year because I know one of my favorite Australian YouTubers, he played it and he was like, yeah, it's good, but not great. It was one of those games where if you are X fan, you will like this game, right? It's not like, oh my God, new people are coming into the franchise, right? 9-month delays is terrible. I still think you are going to play it. I'm going to play it no matter what, right? For sure. Perhaps now it has changed from me buying this. This was on my list of games, yes, to get at some point, right? Now this becomes into, okay, wait for the reviews. If the reviews are not great, wait another year or 2 years and then buy it.
What I'm thinking is that in the September 9 is falling right in between the summer Steam sale and the Halloween Steam sale. So very likely, except if you want to play day one or if it's on Game Pass, I didn't see any news of it getting on Game Pass. Otherwise, if I have to pay it on Steam, I would just wait a month and a half and just get it for the Halloween Steam sale, right?
Yeah.
Or a month after with Cyber Monday and Black Friday and stuff like this. So September 9, maybe not the best time of the years, knowing that 2 or 3 months after is going to be discounted.
It doesn't have to, right? With Steam, it's up to the seller if they want to do a discount, right? They can just, some games like Elden Ring came out about the same time and it was like, there was no sale for it on the Steam sale. So it's...
We'll see, but it's... Games Workshop, usually they want to sell the whole Warhammer franchise and there's millions of Warhammer games. So they usually do a Warhammer franchise sale all at once. And also maybe because don't buy day one a game, right? You just have to wait for 1 or 2 or 3 patches to make sure that all the bugs are corrected. So it might be good to wait a couple of months, get it on sale. November, if you're not sure, with Black Friday, get it bug free and maybe a bit cheaper. While waiting 9 months, wait 10 or 11, that's fine. I'm sure there's going to be other games to play.
All right, moving on to my second story is going to be Adam and mine's initial impressions of the AMD Radeon RX 7800 XT. So if you guys had paid attention on the podcast over the last the whole of 2023, right? Adam finally got his new PC. He got a 7800 XT. He got the best 7800 XT through my research. I went through a bunch of articles. It is, of course, a 7800 XT made by Asus Taiwan. It is the coolest and quietest 7800 XT on the market. Now, if you are a younger person, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter how noisy it is. Let me tell you, I had a very noisy graphics card. I didn't even matter. And very hot as well. So Adam's 7800 XT will usually top off at about 57 degrees Celsius at load. That is pretty damn cool, let me tell you. So that's something right there. I got the power color, which came with a bunch of really cool accessories that I paid $100 for because Adam bought the last freaking Asus 7800 XT from the store and stole it from me. But I did get this thing as a consolation prize, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, this will be my consolation prize. And there's a bunch of other stuff I got on the box from Power Color, which I was like, sure, I'll take it. Thank you. It's not $100 worth of extra stuff or whatever. But I want to get Adam's impressions first. Like, Adam, you got your computer. Adam didn't build it himself. I have to mention that it was built for him. Again, he's a middle-aged gamer. I'll never build again. It's too much effort and too tiring. What's your impression so far? How long have you had your computer? Tell our audience how you're feeling about temperatures and noise. Have you had any issues running with Windows 11? Any glitches, rendering videos, or playing games? Tell us about it.
It is a little bit louder than my old computer, actually. I had which seems odd. That was the NVIDIA, what was it?
1660?
1060.
1060.
That was a 1060. That was actually quieter. My new computer is louder than the older one. It so far has been running pretty cool, but I'm worried because when I was going shopping, that was one of the big things that people kept telling me. They're like, NVIDIA runs cooler, and Taiwan's a hot country, so a lot of people don't want to run. Was it the AMD because they do run hotter? But so far, it's been okay. Like I said, it has been quieter. I haven't noticed too much of a difference in performance. Slight difference, but not too much of one. But then again, I haven't really put it through its paces yet. I don't really have any. The only games I'm really running right now are The Sims 4, and I've done some just running around in Frozen Flame, which does look better. But yeah, if I'm being 100% on, I haven't rendered any videos, which is probably going to be the best test to see how it runs, because my old computer was really slow with the rendering. It could take me 6 minutes to run a 30-second clip, just to render a 30-second clip, or sometimes it could even take up to 20 minutes, depending on what I was trying to do with that 30-second clip. I need to make some videos and see how well they render to really put it through its paces, but I'm satisfied with it. So
Now I'll run that off with, again, this has fixed my issues I had with like high performance or demanding games with Valheim at 4K. I had a 3070 Ti, and now I've got the same card as Adam, just a different manufacturer. Again, games run 4K, 60 frames per second, no issues so far. I've tested this with Valheim, which I just finished with my brothers last week over the new year. I've tested this with a game called War Tales, but that's not really a super demanding game. I've tested this with, what is the other game I am playing? Oh, Trine 5, but Trine 5, again, also not a very demanding game. But overall, just the overall look of my computer, I looked at temperatures all the time. My graphics card is like 34 degrees. My old 3070 Ti was resting temperature, was at like 60, 57, 58 degrees. It was pretty terrible. At load, it was like 90 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot. This at load is about 60, which is, again, much cooler. It's so much quieter. I might actually get to close my computer. So definitely, if you're looking for a graphics card to buy for 2024, 2025, 2026, this is going to be it for you. Fantastic value. Again, this graphics card for 4K 60 is cheaper than NVIDIA's other solutions, right? Like this, if you're buying outside of Taiwan, you'd be paying less than $500 US dollars. But for the equivalent to run 4K 60, you'd be paying $700, $800 with NVIDIA, which is, again, this is just NVIDIA doesn't really care because their stock has 400% increased in 2023. But yeah, great card. Definitely consider it. It's well worth it, especially Chinese New Year's coming up, and you want to buy something to spoil yourself, or buy it for your kids, or buy it for summer or winter holidays. It's definitely well worth it. And
yeah,
with that story, we're gonna.
I was going to say, I can't speak for the card itself, but currently my PC is running at just over 60 degrees Celsius, or around 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
So is this which sensor is this though?
This is the Deep Cool. This is the processor sensor.
Oh, so your process is running at that. So that's fine, because you are streaming.
Yeah, so I can't speak. I can't speak for the graphics card, but the processor is running around 60.
Because you have that AIO cooler, which is nice. Nice. That's good to know. Oh, and you're running the 7000 series as well. Adam has the best CPU out of all of us, which is nice. All right, Adam, final story for today.
So my last story is going to be that the Chinese government is striking again out at gaming. So what they did is they recently changed their policies, and this has actually caused the Chinese gaming industry to lose $80 billion due to these policy changes. Okay, we got a note here from Noble Cooper. It says, crazy enough, many kids wanted a PC more, but instead they got a PS5 for Christmas, and they dared reject a gift. Yeah, I saw some of the videos where the kids get a PS5 and they're like, I wanted a PC. I saw some of those shorts, on YouTube. But yeah, so the things that they've changed is they are requiring all online games to ban daily login rewards. So a lot of these games, like if you've played Genshin Impact or that sort of thing, you log in every day, you get certain awards. They have made a ban on that. You can't do that. So you can't entice people just to log in every day to get these awards. So those are gone. They've also implemented spending limits, saying that you cannot spend more than X amount on a game within X amount of time, so that they're trying to curb the whales, so that they can't be spending this ludicrous amount of money. So that's gone. They are requiring online game approvals to be processed within 60 days. If you are releasing a new game and it is not processed within 60 days, your game cannot be approved. Goodbye. Sorry. They are banning live streaming of heavy tipping within games. So if you are getting these tips from people and like donations or whatever, you cannot. Nope. not going to be depending. I don't know what heavy tipping counts as, but they're trying to curb that. They are banning online games from offering probability or luck-based draw features to minors. So if you're playing a game with kids, then loot boxes and that sort of thing are 100% out. Everything has to be direct. I pay this much money, I get this as a result. And they are requiring game publishers to store their servers within China. So if you want to have your game in China, you need to store your servers in China. So because of this, has been a huge hit to the industry. $80 billion gone just overnight, basically, because of these new regulations. So
Yeah, Tencent will be happy.
yeah, I'm sure they're thrilled.
How to go from
Go ahead.
I'm number one. No, I'm just thinking I'm number one. We're ahead of everyone. Crush in fire just because not they don't know how to do business, just because the government say, "Hey, we don't like you." Bye.
Yeah, I just want to control the thought,
No, sorry,
the way
Glenn.
people think and feel.
No, in some of the things you said, some seems correct. Curbing the waste. If you have a mental disease where you spend like the Diablo Immortal guy, spend tens of thousands of dollars, more than that, I can't remember. It was crazy. You may have either too much money on your hand or a mental problem, and I understand that you want to curb it. The rest, that's a bit far, right?
The one that I would probably agree with is the probability-based luck draw features to minors. That one I 100% am behind, because there's that whole, I try to get something, I don't get it, I try again, and it has that kind of dopamine effect. And it, in a way, it encourages not necessarily gambling directly, but there's that kind of, if I keep trying, I'm eventually going to get that win. And I think, especially with young children, getting them in on that cycle young can be very dangerous, or has a potential to be very dangerous. And so I do agree with that one. The other ones, the daily login rewards, it's annoying, but I don't think it's really problematic necessarily, because like I have games that I do that, and it literally is just press the button, let it load, and then log back out. I don't do anything. It's not a huge problem. And that's the thing, is I'll start noticing that I start doing that, and that's all I'm doing. And then eventually I'll miss a day, and then I'll miss a week, and then I slowly like filter out of these games. So that one I don't really think is that big of a deal. I think the regulators need to approve within 60 days, and the servers within China, I think that's just a control thing. I think the regulators need to approve within 60 days is basically a way for them to say, if we don't like your game, we can just drag out the process, and then we can just say, oh, sorry, it's not that we didn't approve it, it's just that it wasn't approved in time. And I think that's just a way to pass the buck along. But the banning of heavy tipping within games, and then the requiring spending limits, I understand the logic behind it, but it is people's money. And I don't know, when you start telling people how much they can spend, and where they can spend it, and what they can spend it on, that to me is starting to
Sounds good.
that's starting to rub me the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the American coming out in me, and freedom and all that. But yeah, for me, it's that seems a little bit iffy on me. To me, yeah.
Just to counter a bit the argument on the loot boxes, even 30 years ago, we didn't have internet and loot box and stuff, but we had these Panini football cards, right? And when I had a good mark, my father brought me to the Taba Press, and I picked one and said, oh, I got the players I like. Oh, this pack had crappy players. And it was a bit loot box as well, right? You just buy a pack, you get 10 cards, and it's the same with the Pokemon cards that my son is collecting. Except that it's digital and...
Yeah, I think the difference there is not necessarily the system. I think the system is the same. I think in your particular case, it's the fact that your dad was buying them, so there was adult oversight on how much money you're spending. And in that case, I'm like, yeah, sure. If a parent wants to be like, hey, I'm going to buy you this pack of Pokemon cards, and there's a chance that you're going to get something you like, and if there's a parent regulating it, then I don't see a problem with it. But I think the problem is that sometimes you get parents who might just attach their credit card to it and be like, hey, have at it. And then the kid loses control. So I do see the need for curbing that. But yeah, if the parents are regulating it, then I don't think there's necessarily a problem. But if that's the case too, I'm sure that probably the account would not be tied to a minor. It would probably be the parent's account. And then it would be, so then are you marketing it to a minor? No, you're marketing to an adult who's allowing the minor to play the game. So it's a little bit different. We do have notes from, I don't know why the chat's not working today, but we do have notes from Noble Cooper, and he's saying, no more tax invasion with tips. And accounts like League of Legends, some people will spend over $2,000 on their accounts. And this is true. This is something that kind of annoys me with the games like Dead or Alive, where they'll like, we're going to have a free-to-play game now, but you're going to get 2 skins per character, and then we're going to release 40 packs at $10 each. And this game is no longer $70. It is now $400 or $1,000. So
that's why it annoys me with the Civilization games. Always a great game. $10 every time they want to bring a new Civilization series. Thanks.
Yeah, it adds up.
It does.
All right, let's move on to Antoine's last story, and let's keep in mind we want to try and end this in the next 10 minutes or so.
So I can mention that Montreal of Canadians of Montreal are beating the Dallas Stars after the first period, 2-1. Yay! Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is this?
All right. I'm going to do a quick bit of news, which makes me smile. Sony got slapped on the back of the hand in France, and they lost a legal battle on 2 fronts. So first of all, Sony doesn't like their pad, right? The PlayStation pad being counterfeit. So they are very strict about it. And I think they say something like in 2015, there was some update, which means that everything which is not Sony controller, when you have an update, lose communications, there are disconnections and stuff like this. But they can't make the difference between counterfeit and third-party, legal third-party. You can have a pad for your PlayStation, which is legal, but not Sony, right? And they can't make the difference. And of course, because of this, it's interference of business, right? So that's the first infraction. It's disproportionate measures against PS4 controllers from third-party manufacturers. That's the first thing. Second thing, lack of transparency, lack of transparent licensing policies and communications. Exactly. Companies were impeded from joining Sony's licensing program as access was only granted through a partnership program, of course. But the problem is, the regulatory body discovered that Sony refused to communicate criteria for the program access to manufacturers. And why? It's because the criteria itself was applied at Sony's discretion. So whether they like you or not, that would be the problem. So I didn't know, I think they talked about a 13 or something like this, $1 million fine. I, of course, didn't put the fine in my notes like an idiot, so I can find it quickly. But in any case, they got millions of dollars of fine because of this. And that's a news for Sony in France, but because France is part of the European Union, that can escalate to other countries because that's always like this in Europe. Bad time for Sony. They have to be very careful of what they do with third-party manufacturers now. I don't know how they're going to correct it, but you're very likely going to have an update on your PlayStation soon correcting this, at least in France, likely in Europe.
Yeah, 13.5 million, yeah. Which seems like a really small amount to a company the size of Sony. Seems like beans. But yeah, this is right on the back. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had the news about Xbox doing something similar, right? Where they were banning unapproved third-party peripherals, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes. But even if it was third-party manufacturers, and that's something which doesn't fly in Europe, because if it's legal and not counterfeit, they can sell. You don't have the monopoly of your own console, if you will, at least on the peripherals.
Everybody's doing it.
Which is normal. Imagine if on your computer, you could only buy a camera or a mouse or that, which is stamped Microsoft. Of course, right. You wouldn't have Razer, Corsair, all of these third-party manufacturers wouldn't be able to compete against. It should be the same for console, right? And that's why they got slapped on the back of the hand. 13 million.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole lightning. What was it? What do they call the lightning connection on the iPhones? And then now they have to use USB-C, right? For the exact same reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and yes, given the time, we're gonna jump right into some announcements, and I'll skip my last story. I can always do the video on my own at some point. A few things. So to end up today's show, I want to remind you guys we are now moving video releases. So Monday and Tuesdays are free for the guys. That should hopefully give them time and me time as well to work on our own videos if we need to. We're not releasing videos every day. So videos will not be released Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday and Tuesday are free. Keep an eye out for that. So while we do cover 9 stories, most of the time 9 stories during the week, So 5 of those will be released. 4 of those will be released in a period where maybe I'm not here, or Antoine's not here, or it's a holiday, or maybe we're taking another break. We had that week off last year, so maybe this year we might have 2 weeks off. We'll see how that goes. Second thing is, if you like any of the games we talked about today, or any of the games we've ever talked about, check out our instant gaming link. Thanks to Antoine for setting that up. That gives us a kickback, to be honest, 3% commission. And again, this helps support us to the goal of Adam becoming a full-time YouTuber, where he can convince his Asian wife, like we all have, that doing this will provide him enough money for the foreseeable future and retirement and mortgages. And we only have a video version right now, right? So yes, you already saw that. You can see. So there's that. Also, keep in mind, we have 3 Amazon affiliate links. I'm thinking to change these every 2 months, maybe every month. I'll probably see the first round of Amazon affiliate links are going to be for our headphones. I have the Yeti, the full Yeti, whatever it's called. Maybe it's not the full Yeti, but Antoine has the Yeti Nano. Thank you, Antoine. Adam has the Cooler Master MH720. Is that right, Adam?
I think yours is a blue, I think. Blue Yeti.
Yes, I do love this color. So if you like the way we sound, or you like the sound, like Adam's headset always impresses me. It is super affordable, but always sounds really good.
I love the older one sounded better, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I guess, and I'm thinking about it. The old one had a bit more of a depth to your voice. This one is a bit higher.
If I may, because as I said, I'm playing now with my son, playing games like Second Land or Ark or like sandboxes, and he doesn't have microphone because his microphone is the one on the camera. And to play multiplayers, it's a torture for me, especially because I have a good microphone. So I recommend, depending on your budget, right? But if you're on budget of your own for kids, this is ground because it's a Nano Yeti. It's small, it's compact, it's good. You have also everything going with it. All of this, I bought it for, I can't remember if it was US or Canadian, but honestly, like this is extremely good quality for the price. So if you want to buy like a low budget, or if you want to buy for your kids, you don't need to go full extremely good microphone, right? This is more than enough, I swear. And because if you don't want a mount like this, Crane can tell you because he has this Yeti Blue since not a long time ago, but it comes with a mount which is very heavy and absorbs the vibration extremely well. So you don't really need to set up the arm and everything. The original mount does more than the job. Yeah.
And there we go. So also keep an eye out for Life by You. Adam and I are going to take a stab at creating content for Life by You. Hypothetically, or ideally, if time permits, Adam should have his first video out. We'll be alternating at least for the first month just to see how these do. Maybe continuing for that 1 video a week. Maybe we'll probably do 1 every 2 weeks. We'll see what the schedule permits. So keep an eye out for those. The first one should be out this week. We're going to try at least 1 per week now. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed all of today's stories. Keep an eye out on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share the videos. Don't forget, we have content on Instagram, content on Facebook. So if you are a shorts person like me, check those out there. And we will see you guys same time next week. More news, more stories, and more games.